Is on something different. It's not a usual surgery that is opted for by patients, and neither is it a very common surgery that we as plastic surgeons perform. And this topic is something which is very different, very interesting, and I am sure you are going to find it to be of a great interest. So the topic for today is creation of cat eyes. Now, cat eyes or fox eyes are essentially eyes which have a bit of a slant in the outer corner, and because they are having a slant, they tend to look they give a different shape to the eyes, which can also be called as an almond shape. So let us take a look at the shape of the eyes. So there is a slight slant between the upper and lower border of the eye, so that the lower border or the inner corner. So a lot of celebrities these days flaunt of shape of their eyebrow, and that is how people are becoming more aware of these kind of eye shapes, and they are coming forward and requesting for similar kind of shape of their eyes, which their favorite celebrities and social media stars often keep flaunting. Now we have to understand that what exactly is done in a cat eye or a fox eye surgery is alteration of the shape of the outer corner. Outer corner meaning this corner of the eye. So the inner corner of the eye is not altered. What is altered is the outer corner of the eye. So when there is a pull which is exerted on the outer corner, it completely transforms the look. So somebody who had the inner corner and outer corner of the eye at the same level, when a fox at a lower level and eye is at a slightly higher level. At the same time, a lot of patients also go for lifting of their eyebrows, because the distance between the eyebrow and the upper eyelid sometimes is less, and therefore the eyes look flat or the eyes look horizontal. When the eyebrow corners are lifted up, it gives a very nice opening up of the eyes, and the eyes tend to look bigger. Combining a cat eye or a fox eye with lifting of the eyebrows can completely change the way a person can look. Now, how exactly do we create a fox eye or a cat eye? There are two main options. One is with the help of cog threads. Now, these cog threads are made of a material which is either polydioxane, which is PDO, or polylactic acid, which is PL, lost. So the effect that is created by threads is a temporary effect, while the effect that we create with surgery is permanent. So if somebody is doing a cat eye for the first time or a fox eye for the first time, what I normally recommend is you can try the threads first. When you like the effect of the threads and you are happy with what you see, you can always go for the surgery later on, which will give you a similar effect or in fact a better effect, which is permanent. Always remember, surgical alterations are permanent. In case you don't like the effect after a surgical alteration, then undoing it or reversing the effect of surgery is not easy. But if you removed, and you can go back to how you were looking before. Surgeries, on the other hand, are permanent. So, how exactly is either the thread lift and the surgery created? I will explain to you. So when somebody comes for creation of a cat eye effect, there are two threads which are inserted. The upper thread is to pull the corner or the upper end of the outer end of the eyebrow, and the lower thread is to pull canthus. The outer corner of the eye is called as, and this is basically pulled through a thread which is inserted here, which goes upward, and that pulls this part of the eye outward and upward, and that creates an almond shape of the eye. So if you see, normally the eye has a shape which is like a oval, and when it is pulled outward and upward, it creates the appearance of an almond shaped eye. So a cat eye creation or a fox eye creation is also called as an almond eye creation. So with threads, this procedure is done under local anesthesia. In the standing position or upright sitting position, there are some markings which are done in order to get an idea of where exactly the thread should be positioned in order to give the optimal result to the patient. After giving local anesthesia, there are two threads which are inserted. Now these threads are inside an introducer which is very thin, which is like at the corners of the eye. There is local anesthesia given at the entry point, and there are two threads which are used. The first thread which pulls the outer corner of the eye, and the second thread which pulls the upper part of the eyebrow end. So when these two threads are pulled upward and outward, it creates the appearance of a cat eye or a fox eye. This is essentially a procedure which takes only 15 minutes per side. So in 30 minutes, this effect can be created. After this surgery, it takes around a week to 10 days to be finally seen. For a week to 10 days, you may need to apply ice on the swollen areas. You may need to apply a gel called thrombophobe to get rid of bruises if you get any bruises. So the recovery is around a week. Now let's take a look at how the cat eyes look after a month or so. So these are some before after images taken 1 month after the cat eye creation, and you can see that before the procedure her eyes were triangular. They did not have a proper projection or a proper lifting, and the eyebrow tail was also going downward. So the inner corner and outer corner of the eyebrow was almost at the same level. After the threads have been inserted to lift up the corner of the eye, you can see that the eyes look bigger because this corner has been pulled, and the eyebrow tail has also been pulled upward. So you can see that the distance between the eyebrow and the upper eyelid has increased, and that has removed the tiredness from her face. When there is a lot of loose skin in the area between the eyebrow and the upper eyelid, the eyes tend to look tired, or there is hooding in the eyes, or it gives the appearance that the person has not slept well. When the eyebrow has been lifted up, or when the corner of the eye has been lifted up, it makes the face look fresh. It gives the appearance of freshness, and the tiredness effect is removed. So a cat eye creation with threads can be a very pleasing transformation, and we have had patients who are very happy with the kind of change that they got with the cat eye creation. Canthoplasty. So canthoplasty can be done under local anesthesia or under sedation. Canthoplasty means the outer corner of the eye, there is a stitch which is taken which pulls the outer corner of the eye upward. So this creates the effect of cat eye, and because this stitch is permanent, the effect remains permanently. So this is also a minor surgery. It takes around 20 minutes per side. There are a couple of stitches taken which pull the canthus in an upward and outward direction, and the healing takes around a week to 10 days. So during this surgery, the canthoplasty the same incision near the corner of the eye, but for lifting the eyebrow, the incision is here inside the hairline, and you can see that initially she had a droopiness on her eyebrow, which used to make the face look sad, or it used to give the appearance that she has not slept well. And when the eyebrow has been lifted, it has really opened up the outer part of the eye. So the wrinkles in the outer part of the eye, the crow's feet, get reduced, and the eyebrow gets shifted to a higher location. So eyebrow lifting along with a cat eye creation or a fox eye creation can be really transformational, and it can completely change the way a person looks. Especially if you look at this particular social media celebrity, you can see that her eyes are so small. It gives the appearance of unpleasantness or harshness to the face, and when the eyebrow has been lifted up, it has made the face look that much more pleasant. In her case also, the eyebrow was quite flat. There was not a proper arch on the eyebrow, and when the outer corner has been lifted, it has created a proper arch on the eyebrow. So these surgeries can be really transformational. So as I explained to you, a cat eye or a fox eye can be created either surgically or non-surgically. In younger individuals, they normally can go for the non-surgical option because they don't have too much of loose skin to tighten. So when there is faster, so sometimes in the younger patient we recommend that they first go for fox eye or cat eye creation using threads. As I said, these threads are cog threads. So cog means if this is the thread, on the thread there are multiple cogs, like how an arrow has an arrowhead, like that there are multiple cogs on these threads, and these cogs they fix under the layer of the skin, and that's how, like a velcro, they fix the skin at a higher location. So threads can be a good option of creating this kind of an effect, and the effect remains for, as I said, 9 months to 1 year, which is not bad. After a year, if the patient wishes to have threads again, they can always come back and do the threads again. Surgeries need more time in terms of the healing. Now this eyelid skin is such that it is as thin as a tissue paper. So any procedure that we do on the eyelid, it tends to create some kind of swelling in this area, or there may be some bruises. In some individuals there are a lot of veins which run over this area, and if any of these veins bleeds, it can create a bruise in that area which can take longer time to heal and recover. So for surgeries, the recovery time or the healing period is around 8 days to 12 days. For threads, it is lesser, it is 5 days to 7 days. Of course, as I said, the sutures which are taken for creating the fox eye or cat eye are permanent. So whatever effect you get after surgery is permanent. Now what should one be careful of during this surgery is that not all faces need this kind of a effect, or this kind of a transformation may not look good on all kinds of faces. When the outer corner of the eye is pulled, or when the outer corner of the eyebrow is pulled, it gives a little bit of Asian look to the eyes. So make sure that you really want to go for this kind of a look, and then only you opt for this procedure. I normally make the patient stand in front of a full length mirror, and I show them in the mirror how exactly it is going to look. If they are happy with what they see in the mirror, then it's a good idea to do it. For somebody who is unable to make up their mind about how it is going to look, they may be candidates for doing something temporary like threads. Let them understand the process, the effect that they are going to get, and then they can come on later on and do something more permanent. So friends, this was a brief overview about cat eye or fox eye creation, and how it can really change the shape of the eyes, and rather the shape of the upper part of the face, and these surgeries can be really transformational. These surgeries are normally done under daycare, so you can come in the morning and go home in the evening, and you should do these surgeries at a time when you don't have an important event or some wedding in the family, because anything on the face is going to be visible to people. Though we wear a mask now, the mask covers only the lower part of the face, and the eyelids or the eyebrows are still open for people to see. You may need to use dark glasses for a few weeks to hide these bruises or areas of swelling, and that's about it. So once you are ready for this kind of a transformation, then you can go for a cat eye or fox eye surgery, and you can be very happy with the results. I thank you all for tuning in today for this live, and I will connect with you again with another topic of interest. If you have any questions or queries related to the fox eye or cat eye procedure, do not forget to write to me in the comment box, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our channel Dr. Parag Telang, where you can keep getting regular updates about newer aspects in cosmetic surgery or newer advances in cosmetic surgery. I thank you all. Thank you and good night.